My name is David Brown. I'm the very proud superintendent of schools in Randolph Township, New Jersey, a school district of about 5,000 students, 6 buildings, K-12, and there are a lot of exciting things happening in Randolph Township. Instructional coaching began as a response to declining enrollment, believe it or not, at the elementary level. Districts that have a K-12 structure often have the need to repurpose full-time employees. The high school principal, assistant superintendent, and I were talking about what she would do with additional FTEs, full-time employees, if we repurposed some elementary full-time employees at the high school level. She began by saying that she'd like one additional staff member in each of 4 academic departments. And we tried to think, what more could we do other than just that? It would have been nice to lower class sizes, but it wouldn't do much to change what instruction looked like. It was about a 20-minute conversation, after which, or by the end of which, we had all decided that adding an additional staff member to each department did make sense, but also, as a companion piece to that, taking an existing staff member, reducing his or her teaching load to 1 class or possibly at most 2, and then having that person use the rest of their day for instructional coaching of willing colleagues, we thought was a much more creative use of repurposed FTEs. The Board of Education initially, as lay people, very interested in what's best for the district, were, in a word, skeptical about the need to hire instructional coaches. It took a lot of convincing on the part of each of the stakeholders involved, high school principal, assistant superintendent, and I, to explain that even people who are good at their jobs can get even better at their jobs, no matter what that job may be, if they have effective instructional coaching, non-evaluative, job-embedded instructional coaching available to them each of their workdays. So it was initially met with some skepticism. After about a year of employing this model, we had the instructional coaches come to a Board of Education meeting, and even the biggest board skeptics became the biggest fans, listening to the testimony of longtime teachers explaining how they were able to transform their practice, not because someone like me came to observe and evaluate their performance, but because someone like a trusted, willing colleague came and helped them in a non-evaluative way to basically reinvent what it meant to be a teacher. The hiring process for each instructional coach, we looked for someone who, regardless of content area, we were more focused on the skill set they might bring to the task. Most good coaches, all good coaches, are excellent teachers. So we began by looking for people willing to teach fewer periods and equally willing to share what they were doing well as teachers with colleagues interested in improving their practice. There's a lot of intentionality on deciding what the job responsibilities of the coaches should be. We initially and purposely did not tell them what it would look like to be an instructional coach. And I think it made all 4 of our instructional coaches initially nervous to not have basically a job description going in. We didn't want to limit what they may do. We picked the right people and we let them tell us what their job should look like. I know that sounds risky, but when you pick the right people and you give them the freedom to invent what their position should look like to have the most benefit for colleagues, it has been an absolute home run for the colleagues they helped and for the instructional coaches to not limit them to what we thought an instructional coach should be and how they should spend their day. We never could have come up with as comprehensive a model ourselves as the coaches did for themselves. The success of the program, I think, in our district could be gauged by its expansion to all levels. After 1 year of instructional coaching, mostly focused at the secondary level, the union leadership came to us and asked us if we could implement an instructional coaching model at the middle school level, and we were happy to do so. So now we have a K-12 instructional coaching model at a time when, in an unprecedented way, we've been asking teachers to reinvent what it means to be a teacher, and it's become much less of a burden on teachers to try to undertake that process because they've had willing trusted colleagues helping them every step of the way. We expect, for example, teachers to engage with technology and enable students to engage with technology to an unprecedented degree. We've had that purposely as a focus of our instructional coaches and their work with teachers. I think the future for instructional coaching in Randolph or any district that employs this model would only be limited by whatever changes come our way. It's the only thing that's constant in public education is change, as we all well know. And as those changes come our way, I think we're better equipped to handle them professionally and interpersonally because we have instructional coaches bridging the gap between administration and instructional staff. We don't want there to be a gap, but we understand that there can be. Instructional coaches have been an ideal fit for bridging that gap.